Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie review. Today, after the day job, I am off to check out the new horror movie, Imaginary. This film is directed by Jeff Wadlow, and it's starring DeWanda Wise. It tells the story of a woman who moves back to her childhood home just to find out that the imaginary friend she left behind years ago is still around, and let's just say, they're not so happy that she abandoned them. This movie is rated PG-13, and well, we all know how I feel about PG-13 horror films, but I am not judging yet. This is also a Blumhouse production. Yeah, another strike against this film. But you know what? I'm going to keep an open mind, because not everything Blumhouse puts out is total garbage. They've had a couple hits, mostly misses in my opinion, but they've got some out there that are pretty good. So honestly, guys, I don't really have a lot of expectations going into this film. It honestly looks like a generic PG-13 horror film with a monster added into it that's been there, done that. This movie looks like it's just another generation's Drop Dead Fred, in my opinion, without all the fun. But again, I'm just talking about the trailer of this movie, okay? So let's just see what we got. So you know what? It's enough of me sitting here yammering. It is time for me to get out the door, because first off, I got work to do, and then I'm off to check out the new movie, Imaginary. Welcome back. Just getting home, and guys, this movie was just absolutely terrible. This movie is god-awful, and it's not one of those horror movies that is so good it's bad. This movie is just plain bad. Normally, I do, negatives and then positives, and on the high note and all that jazz. Not this time. I really don't have anything nice to say about this movie. Okay, so the first thing, here's something nice I can say about this movie. I did like the concept. That's it. The idea of the imaginary friend coming back to life, or being real, or something or other, and being the monster and everything. There were parts of this film that had some real, I guess you could say, creativity thrown into it. But pretty much everything in this movie has been there, done that before in the horror genre. And I mean, been there, done that before like crazy. This is just a hodgepodge of other people's ideas thrown together in a blender, mixed up, and made into an extremely shitty protein shake. That's what this movie is. It's just trope after trope after trope. There is no atmosphere. There is no horror. There are attempts at jump scares. And 90% of the jump scares in this movie aren't even a monster. They're just stupid, unearned jump scares. Like a person walking into the room. Shit like that. The movie tries to hide the monster and all, but it shows you the goddamn thing 20 seconds into the movie. I shit you not. You can probably count from when the opening credits start up to the first time you see the monster, and I bet it's about 20-25 seconds. And I mean, I hate that in a creature feature. The reveal of the monster is supposed to be something epic, memorable. Most of the time, you hide your monster throughout the entire film, giving the public just a nibble of what this creature could possibly be. This movie just shows the goddamn thing right at the beginning of the movie. And then it tries to make you forget that you know that this is the monster. It tries to get you to, like, not think that the teddy bear is the freaking monster. What? Are you kidding me? What the? This movie is almost insulting to the viewer. It's that bad of a movie. And I don't know what the deal is with the acting in this film. I don't know if the actors are doing the best that they possibly can, delivering some of the dumbest dialogue I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, the acting is very flat, very stale, very boring, and it just muddles along. And I don't necessarily blame the actors too awful much in this film, because the dialogue, like I said, it had to be hard to try to deliver some of these freaking lines with any kind of enthusiasm or anything, especially the little girl. I mean, just some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth in this movie, it's just so, I don't know if you would say unnatural, but it just felt that way. And not in like a good horror movie way. It was just unnatural. So the movie is just absolute tropey mess, unearned jump scares, no atmosphere, no real horror. The acting isn't all that great. It's got a PG-13 label on it, so it doesn't have any kind of grotesque moments of gore. And not only that, like I've been saying, it wasn't scary. The one thing a horror movie is supposed to be: scary. And this isn't even a so bad it's good horror film. Oh no, there was no unintentional entertainment to be had in this movie. This film is boring. It just drones on. It doesn't have anything of interest whatsoever. I'm sorry, guys. This is just a worthless film. Avoid at all costs. Don't see it in theaters. Don't watch it when it comes on streaming. Just forget that this film exists. Oh, and I forgot to bring up, I've told you that they reveal the monster in no way, extremely early on. The creature design in this film is terrible. The effects look extremely stupid and dated. The CGI is horribly cartoony. It's just ugly, muddled crap. This is going to be a rant portion of the films, okay? This is a rant thing with Blumhouse and shit like this. So from this point on, the review is honestly over. Like I said, not worth your time. Don't worry about it. So if you don't want to hear me rant about some things, by all means, turn the video off. Thanks for checking me out. Subscribe to the channel if you want nice, honest reviews. Guys, don't waste your money on this film. Now, let me do some ranting, shall we? Now, PG-13 horror. The reason I get pissy about PG-13 horror is not because it's not edgy, or not because it doesn't have gore, or lots of language and foul stuff and all that. It's normally just a cash grab that you guys are coming out, you studios and movie makers are trying to come at kids, basically. That's all you're trying to do, is get disposable income from teenagers. You're trying to get introduction horror fans, and you're ruining it for them. You're ruining it for them. You're just taking their movie and you're giving them this half-ass shit product, and it's not right. It's not cool. I look at a movie like The Boogeyman, which has a PG-13 rating. Now, you can say that film is tropey. It wasn't a perfect film by any means, no, but it was fun. It had real horror elements to it. It had scenes of real suspense and thriller and things that horror movies are supposed to have. This was just gobbledygook, man. You threw a bunch of shit together in a blender, mixed it up, and made a hell of a shitty protein shake and said, you know what, we'll just give this to a bunch of freaking teenagers because they got disposable incomes. Fuck you. I mean, fuck you. This is why horror gets a bad name and horror fans are considered to be shit, because you take this slop and you throw it in front of us and you go, here, piggy, eat up the slop. Isn't it good? Don't you love your slop? See what it is? And you don't create fans. You alienate fans. Try harder, guys. Please. If you want to keep the genre going, if you want to keep the fan base going, don't release crap like this in theaters. Man, I think that went well for my first rant. Yeah, I liked that. That felt good. That felt good to get that out. That felt good. Alright guys, well that really is the end of the Film Geek video. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.